Chapter 18. Charlie. I stalked into the shop but didn't make it more than 3 steps past the door before Ev pounced. Who pissed in your Cheerios? Not talking about it. The incriminating section of the local paper was shoved in my bag with a section of the New York Times. I wasn't sure why that I wasn't sure why I took that one too. Maybe so I could pull it out and look at it for a reality check every time I remember how amazing last night had been. Ev frowned. Seriously, Charlie? You look sad. Is Huck still coming home tomorrow? Yeah, which was one more kink I had to iron out. I was sure Simon would be showing up to help me get Huck home, and no way in hell was I accepting any help from him. Harriet would just have to haul her old diesel Mercedes station wagon. And then the bill. I paid a whole fucking thing. If it was more than I had, I would swallow my pride and ask either Harriet or Con for a loan. I was not going to be further indebted to Simon or his friend. Then what gives? Ev wasn't going to let this go. She was almost as bad as Juanita when it came to needling you until you confess. I reached into my bag and pulled out one of the sections of the newspaper, checking first to make certain it was the right one. I slapped it on the counter in front of her. Went for coffee, found this instead. Ed looked down and studied the picture. Same blonde bitch from the society page online. Yeah, well, I thought whatever they had was history, especially because last night he was at my house and I was naked and orgasms were involved. Ed scanned the paper, presumably doing what I had done first, looking for the date. But he was at the gala last night. After he picked me up from here, but before he picked me up from Voodoo at 2. Busy guy. Ev's eyebrows shut up to her headline. Damn, I'm sorry, girl, that sucks. You better believe if he shows up here, I'll run his ass out. Thanks. You mind if I leave a little early today? I have a feeling he's going to be coming by. I hated to ask, especially because I needed the money now more than ever, and I'll be leaving early way too often already. Do what you need to do. You need some help tomorrow getting your pup home? I shook my head, a new plan already forming. I would skip Harriet's Mercedes and get Con to help me. He had a beat up Tahoe that he drove when he wasn't on his Harley, and he wouldn't let Simon get near me if I didn't want him to. Con wasn't the type to say, I told you so, but I still wasn't looking forward to telling him I'd learned my lesson the hard way despite his warning. I felt so stupid, which was just one more strike against Simon. Girl, he ain't got no strike. If this is a strike, this is the first one, so stop playing. I ducked out of the dirty dog before closing and went straight to Voodoo. I didn't want to run the risk that Simon would stop by the parlor before I had a chance to tell Con that I was unavailable if Simon was doing the asking. Con wasn't in yet, so I took the opportunity to call Jack's cell number from the shop phone. When Jack answered, I explained that since I was so excited to come get Huck, which was no exaggeration, I was hoping he would do it earlier on Sunday morning than he planned. He agreed without question, clearly assuming that we meant Simon and me. I hope his assumptions would stop him from calling Simon to confirm. I would owe Con an even bigger favor for getting his ass out of bed at 8 o'clock on Sunday morning, but hopefully it would be worth it. When Con finally showed his face, he looked like he partied until noon and still hadn't slept at all. Our conversation went much the way I expected. He was happy to help me out and told me I owed him one. Then he sent me home telling me to lay low tonight. Between disconnecting my intercom and keeping my phone off, I had no idea if Simon tried to contact me or not. I told myself I didn't care. I was all nerves when Sunday morning dawned and Con rolled up in his Tahoe. Thanks for this, I said as I climbed into the passenger side. He nodded. No problem. You know I'm always here if you need something, Lee, no matter what. His loyalty was more than I deserved. We rode in silence to the clinic, the Steve Miller band jamming on the stereo. My stomach dropped to the floor mat at the sight of Simon's blue BMW in the parking lot. Shit. Khan backed into the spot next to the door, the same way Simon had parked. At my panicked expression, Khan reached over and squeezed my shoulders. Don't worry, baby. He won't cause a scene. Wouldn't be proper Duchess's behavior. Simon shoved open the clinic door as soon as I stepped towards the Tahoe and proved Khan and proves Khan theories wrong. What the hell is going on, Charlie? I tried to get in touch with you all day yesterday and you were goddamn ghost. I get stonewalled by Ev, Delilah, and this jackass. He jerked his chin towards Khan. Is there something you want to tell me? Because I thought we were past this hot and cold bullshit. She petty. Khan stepped in front of me. Back off, Duchess, and don't you fucking talk to her like that. That's right, don't be talking to her like that. Simon halted in his stride towards me. You back off, Lade. This has nothing to do with you. I disagree. They squared up, and for a minute, I thought they were going to start brawling in the parking lot. I inched around Khan and looked at Simon. He broke Khan's stare to look at me. Anger, confusion, and hurt were reflected in equal measures on his face. Seriously? Did he really have no idea why I might not want to see him? Girl, he ain't no mind reader. You ain't tell him. Of course he don't know. Of course. That I wouldn't care? I had to know. I pulled the folded newsprint from my bag. I'd continue to carry it with me just in case I was tempted to forget. How's this for a hot and cold bullshit? I held it out and our hands brushed as he took it. I jerked mine back like I'd been burned. Simon unfolded the paper and his eyes darted back up to me. Understanding dawned. Charlie, it's not what it looks like. He stepped toward me, but Khan blocked him with an outstretched arm and a fierce glare. I held up a hand and choked out a bitter laugh. You, the politician, telling a dirty little secret, it's not what it looks like, might be the most cliche thing I've ever heard. Is that what you were doing? What you were going to tell the blonde when she caught you with me? I swallowed, trying to compose myself. Just go, Simon. I don't screw around with guys who are taken. The muscle in his jaw ticked. Don't you dare call yourself a dirty little secret. I'm not fucking taken by anyone but you. She's a friend, that's it, and that's all. I crossed my arms over my chest. Did you or did you not attend a charity gala with her after you dropped me off at work? His lips compressed. Yes, I did. Then this conversation is over. I turned away. I never lied to you. Simon's tone was resulted. I snapped back around to stare at him. No, you just gave me selected pieces of the truth. An omission is still a lie, Simon. I should know, I thought. Omissions are my specialty. I know, you being a hypocrite. But if and when the truth came out about me, I wasn't going to split hairs over it. I'd own up to that shit. Why I gotta come out? Why you just can't tell it? Okay. Just hear me out, please. What could you possibly say that would change anything? She's not my girlfriend, but her dad backs off when she goes to events with me. As long as he thinks she has a chance of being Mrs. Duchessness, he doesn't hound her about finding a suitable husband. I let people believe it because she's an old friend, and it's my way of helping her out. I raised one eyebrow, skepticism branded on my features. Look, he continued, there's nothing between us like that. I can't say for certain, but I'm pretty damn sure she's hung up on a guy she thinks her dad won't approve of. He's old school and a control freak, and being seen with me just buys her time while she figures out her own shit and keep her dad off her back. The still reinforcing my spine dissolved in time with my fading anger. His explanation was too candid and random to be anything but the truth. I was fairly confident on that point, but still, there was something else I needed to know. Why didn't you at least tell me about the event? He rubbed a hand over his face before gripping the back of his neck. His neck. Because, honestly, Charlie, I forgot. My head is so damn full of you that I can barely think about anything else. Vanessa called me after I dropped you off at work, wondering where the hell I was because the first course was already being served. I ran home, threw on a suit, and made it there in time for the main course. I shook some hands and posed for pictures. That's it. That's everything. He good. Tell him the truth, but he good. And later, Simon stepped around Khan, and Khan didn't try to block him this time. He backed down and was leaning against the Tahoe. He looked like his mom was a million miles away. Simon framed my face between his hands. When I see you, it all falls away. The expectations, the politics, everyone else plans for me, everything. Nothing matters but soaking up every moment with you. He skimmed a thumb across my cheekbone. I don't know what else I can tell you to make you believe me. You can talk to Vanessa. She knows all about you because you're all I talk about the whole time when we're together. She also knows Friday was the last time I'll be taking her to an event because you're the only one I want by my side. Okay. I looked down at the tattoos covering my arm. I needed to give him fair warning. If what you're looking for is a woman to stand next to you looking poised and perfect for the cameras, I'm not her, Simon. I'm never going to be her. I wouldn't ask you to be anyone but who you are. And if people have a problem with you, then they can go to hell. Khan pushed off the bumper of his SUV, finally rejoining the conversation. Lee has her own reason for keeping a low profile. Khan, don't you do it. The kind of publicity that comes along with you isn't something she needs. Simon's attention flicked to Khan and then back to me. Are you in trouble? Running from someone? His voice was low and his forehead was lined with worry. I grimaced, not wanting to lie to him again after I just raked him over the coals for it, and so I answered as honestly as I could manage. Not in trouble exactly, but I'm also not broadcasting my whereabouts. Okay, so maybe being wanted for questioning by the FBI counted as trouble. Why didn't you tell me? Simon asked. It's not your problem. I just prefer to fly under the radar. Simon started to ask another question, but Jack opened the clinic door. Anyone coming in? Huck's getting antsy. Yes, right now. Sorry to keep you waiting, I replied. I took a step toward the door, happy to leave the conversation behind, but Simon's grip on my hand tugged me back. This conversation isn't over, Charlie. We have some shit to get straight. If you ever find out something that bothers you, come talk to me. Don't shut me out. I've always tried to be completely honest with you, and I've never do anything to intentionally hurt you. I nodded. That's fair, and it was. Beyond being fair, it was a hell of a lot more than I could say to him. Complete honesty wasn't something I'd be trying anytime soon, and I may not intentionally hurt him, but it seemed inevitable that I would. Simon pulled me to his side. Let's go get Huck and take him home. That's the end of chapter 18. Okay now, Charlie. Woo, girl, you making my nerves. You racking my nerves here. I think it's time that you tell him. I think, like I said, you just need to put your big girl panties on and just deal with it. Yeah. Just deal with it. And I was nervous that Khan was going to say some stuff. And I was like, not another person she trusts going to turn on her. But I just hope it come out. I hope he don't find out from somebody else. It really need to come from her. Okay, so that's the end of the chapter. I don't have any words that I don't know the definition or didn't know how to pronounce. So there won't be a definition video. So see you in chapter 19. Bye.